Hey everyone, I thought while my other video's uploading I would get a little head start on the Ask Me Anything questions. Beth Harte asked me what was the exact question? What my favorite book was and why, sorry Beth, let me get the question right. Yeah, I know I have no new clerk, so I don't want a new clerk, I want the old clerk. Do you talk to your computer? I talk to my computer a lot. My computer often needs a talking to. It's usually my fault, but I don't like to admit that. I'd rather it be the computer's fault. So, okay. So Beth said, what's your favorite book and why, and did it affect your life in any meaningful way? So, it's funny you should ask this because a couple of nights ago I got out some old stuff and I was going through a whole bunch of college writing that I had saved, and one of the papers that I'd saved was from an honors literature class where I read Crime and Punishment. And Crime and Punishment is one of those books that, you know, heavy Russian literature, and I don't think people hear Crime and Punishment and think, oh, favorite book. But it probably still remains my favorite book. For a lot of reasons. It's extremely, it's beautifully well written and tragic and uplifting all at the same time. But the reason that it had such a profound impact on me was that, I was a sophomore in college, I think, yeah. And I was young. I was, not quite 19 when I read the book. And it was really my first adult kind of encounter with the idea that good people do bad things. When you grow up, it's easy to believe that bad things are done by inherently bad people, and we villainize and demonize so many people, when the fact really is that if you put good people in the right situation, they'll do shocking things, horrible things. That takes me back to TED last year when Philip Zimbrano, I'm getting his name wrong, Zimbrano, who wrote a book called The Lucifer Effect. He did it was staggeringly moving presentation talking about the Abu Ghraib prison horror, and how people reacted to that and the beliefs about what those people were, and how the army tried to portray the people that committed those atrocities and that torture and that dehumanizing of others, how the army tried to cast them as the bad eggs. But in his studies, especially with the Stanford prison experiment from the 60s, which I guess is the 60s, it's got to be the 60s, he's time and time again shown that you take people who are, morally sound, who have, who hold a lot of the common social mores, and you put them in a desperate situation where they have power and they have no motivation to do good, and they get positively reinforced for doing bad. They'll do abysmally awful things. So I think about Crime and Punishment. I think about Raskolnikov and the desperate situation that he was in, and that try to put myself in that position of being so distraught and so desperate and not seeing any way out. And of course what he did was horrible, but it made me realize that there's a fine line between wanting to do something bad and not doing it, and letting yourself fall over that edge. And Raskolnikov fell over that edge. And it's the whole idea of, if you fall over that edge, can you climb back up? Can somebody save you? Can you save yourself? Do you deserve to be saved? But it was a very moving experience for me reading that book, and even today when I think about right and wrong, and I think about the decisions that I make and others make, and I try to remember Raskolnikov and try to see if there's not one shred of compassion that I can feel for somebody. So that's my answer. Looks like my other thing is done uploading, so that's the only question I'm going to answer for now. But Beth, thank you for answering that question. Thank you for asking that question. As a English major, I love to talk about books and things that I've read and how they've impacted me. So great question. 2 thumbs up. I'll see you later. Bye bye.